Hey, Traxxas, what's happening? You got a secret? No. No, what's this? No, it's not. There's no way. No, it can't be. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? The Traxxas Maxx is 6S capable?
Holy smokes.
No. No. There's no... Okay. Well, we gotta try this, man. It's true. If you take out the 4S capable electronics that are in the Maxx and you put in something that's 6S, the truck can withstand that power. The center drive shaft going down this truck is a big old metal drive shaft. There are steel diff gears, steel conical gears. There's Mod 1 gears used. It's pretty beefy. So we're gonna pull out that VXL 4S ESC, as well as that 2400 kV brushless motor that comes in the Maxx, and then we're gonna try to put something else that works in there. So to get this party started, we removed the top lid from the receiver box so we could unplug the ESC from channel 2. Then we removed the ESC from the chassis by removing the 2 screws holding it in. Since the LED light controller connects into the ESC, we had to unplug that from the ESC as well. To remove the motor, we just removed the caps over the spur and pinion gear, then removed 3 screws under the chassis to release the motor mount and plate as one piece. And then here is our spur gear. So like I said, Mod 1 gears, the spur gear goes in place, and then this little guy right here turns another large Mod 1 metal gear down there, and that is attached to the metal drive shaft. So that's transferring power to the rear and the front. Now inside here, this is all relatively clean. We bashed this truck pretty hard in our last video and drove in some really dusty conditions. And other than some just really fine dust, it's all really clean inside here, as well as our spur gear here in this little idler gear, if you want to call it that. You can see on the Maxx, there is no slipper. It's just a cush drive on there. It does have a little bit of give, but it's not a slipper, so you're getting a lot of direct power. I believe that's the same system as on the X-Maxx. On the stock Maxx motor, that bolt pattern is a 25 mil going diagonally, so that's also what we've got here, of course, on the motor plate. Our game plan now is to use this Mamba X and this, I believe it's the 1515 motor, yes. So this Mamba X is so much smaller physically than the stock ESC. Look at the size differences there. So by using this smaller form factor of an ESC, will allow us to use this longer can motor. And in addition, this system is censored, so that's gonna help us out in this truck. So this is what we're gonna attempt to put into the Maxx. All right, we've got the motor installed. I put the caps back on, but one issue that we've come across is that the stock VXL 4S ESC screws in with 2 bolts into the bottom of the chassis. And as you can see, the chassis here has this honeycomb design. We need a flat surface to double stick this Mamba X ESC. So to remedy that, I'm gonna use those 2 existing holes there, and I'm gonna fashion a little plate out of this Lexan. So I'm just gonna take the VXL 4S, trace it out on the Lexan, and there we go. This Lexan plate is 0.030 inches thick. And if we needed this plate for the ESC to be thicker, we could always cut out 2 of these plates and double them up. Check that out. It's the next day here, and it dawned on us after putting this Lexan plate in there for the ESC to mount on, that RPM makes a cage for Traxxas vehicles to fit the Mamba X. So this could be a really good option to securely hold in that Mamba X into the chassis, because it does screw into those same mount holes as the original ESC, and these are available in blue and black. Our ESC and motor is all wired up and we're plugged into the receiver box. The last thing we're going to do is swap out this stock servo. So using the X-Maxx servo adapter, you can remove that odd-sized servo, throw in this adapter, and then put in the standard size servo of your choosing. We're gonna use this ProTech 170 TBL servo. To get to that servo, it's really easy. You take off this top brace and there's only 4 screws. Pop this up and you have access to the 3 screws that are securing down that servo. The top brace above the servo had to be slightly notched to clear the servo link. And we wanted to use an aluminum servo horn, so we had to Dremel it down slightly so everything would fit smoothly. The finished product though works great. Now the last thing to address is the battery, which will not fit a 6L with that top battery mounting plate that comes stock. So I was able to just kind of pull apart these ears and you can pull that plate right off. And so we're gonna try something else. This is the PureTech battery strap. So this battery strap has some really high grade adhesive on the bottom and then 2 straps over the top. So we're gonna try to put this right in the battery tray and hopefully we can secure any size 6L we want as long as the width of the battery will fit inside of this area. So I think this adhesive will stick to the chassis pretty good. We're gonna use a little bit of nitro cleaner on some cloth and then clean this up. We'll give it a shot. That's in there pretty good. Awesome. Let's just start this all off by saying that the Maxx on 6S is a lot of power. It's a smaller truck and it's lightweight, so when you add a 6S lipo in there, it feels really intense.
I think the dog's hungry.
There were a few passes where we wheelied and we got the front to come back down, and there were a few passes where we wheelied and we lost it. There was one pass the truck was doing about 50 miles an hour, or a little over 80 kilometers per hour when it wheelied and popped back and did a tumble. And you could even see the SkyRC GPS speed meter flying off the truck, which was only Velcroed on.
It went flying?
Watch this. Okay, self-riding. Works great now. The truck's speed and power and punch was so extreme that the entire time we were out there in that speed run spot, or really just the entire time that we actually drove the truck, we were never able to squeeze the trigger 100%. The highest we probably got to was maybe 70 or 80% full throttle.
Holy smokes. That is scary.
Our very last pass, we tried to be smooth on the throttle, putting down a little bit more and a little bit more power to get a good speed run up, but we flipped back and the truck cartwheeled a lot, hit the curb, and broke.
What's that?
Oh, that's the GPS meter. Okay, let's see what it says. Oh, nothing.
The curb is what did that, huh?
Let's see what. Oh, the like top kingpin screw broke. The bottom one's still there. Look at the drive shafts. Look all right, actually.
Yeah. It looks like just the contact on the curb did that up.
Possibly. I'll have to see the footage. bet that's what did it. Damn. It handled the power all right, but man, that's a lot of power. I don't know if one man should have that much power. It's just so much torque. It just lifts up and wheelies so easily. Is there such a thing as too much power? Maybe it was user error? That was maximum max. We don't even know how fast it went because our GPS meter broke. What do you think we were doing? It looked like it was wheeling at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get on the throttle, probably past maybe 80% on the trigger. Yeah.
Not even worth the 6S, huh?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
What tire would you put different tires on then? Use something like the sweeps or?
Yeah. I don't know if that would help it wheelie less. It would need a wheelie bar adjustment, something stiffer, maybe wider, just to keep it on the back a bit more, keep it from spinning back. The wheelie bar is just so spongy. It just moves and flexes fairly easily. That I'm not sure with all that 6S power it's adequate enough. Well, the Arma fanboys will have a field day with this one. It was really awesome though.
Now for that brake, it was only one part and it was at the top of the block. It broke off where it connects into the steering knuckle, and we also lost that top caster block screw that holds the knuckle and the block together. The upper and lower arms, the drive shafts, the shock, everything in that front right area is fine. Nothing else is broken. We just need a new caster block and a replacement screw. Now I already called Traxxas earlier and they're sending out those parts for us, so we should have them shortly. That curb also did a number on our GPS speed meter from SkyRC. It broke apart the plastic housing and the rear battery door, and the battery went flying, so we don't have a read on that final speed for that last pass. But when you put the battery back in this device, everything works, the LCD is okay, but we've never damaged this speed meter this hard before, so that should speak to the force that these components were hitting that curb. As for everything else in the truck, it's perfectly fine. This battery hold down system we threw in there never came loose. It's still really stuck to the chassis. The servo and the servo adapter work great. This upgraded servo has way more speed and torque than the original stock servo. The motor and the ESC performed awesome, and it stayed really cool, probably because we were never really able to give it 100% power. The ESC never came off that Lexan plate that we made, and the plastic drive shafts used on this truck seemed kind of iffy, but they really did hold up to that 6S power. So the Maxx is truly an awesome truck. It took a lot of abuse out there tumbling at 50 miles an hour on that hard pavement. I'm really excited for Traxxas to get those parts sent to us so we can get that front right corner fixed and get this thing up and running again. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe for our future videos. If you have any questions about this truck, hit us down below. And if you want more information, we'll have some links down there as well. I'm Brett with AMain Hobbies. Thanks for watching. Bless you.